The graphic design industry has been around for a very long time, all the way back to 38,000 BC in the form of cave paintings from animals, handprints, and weapons. But today, the industry has been significantly affected by the rise of technology. With that rise of technology, it's easier to get your opinion out there and your take on new designs, redesigns, or even rebrands. There have been many controversies in the graphic design industry over the years involving lawsuits, plagiarism, and sketchy platforms. Companies or individual artists may see something a majority of us do not, or they erase that evidence to try and make you see what they do, but the internet will always find out. Everybody knows the outcome of the 2008 presidential election. Obama won. But that same year, street artist and graphic designer Shepard Fairey created the well-known Barack Obama Hope poster to support Obama's first presidential campaign. However, Associated Press, a news agency company, claimed the poster was copyright due to the image used from 2006 by an AP freelancer, Manny Garcia. Fairey argued that his work was protected by fair use laws as he had cropped George Clooney out of the image, only using a portion of the photo and instead used Obama's headshot. But Associated Press claimed the headshot was taken from a different photo, also shot by the same AP photographer. Of course, Fairey denied the allegations made against him at first, until he didn't, because he later admitted that he had based the poster on the photo in question, fabricating and destroying evidence to hide that fact. The two sides eventually settled in January of 2011 as Fairey agreed to not use another AP photo in his work without obtaining a license first. The two also agreed to work together and collaborate with one another in the future. The financial terms remained confidential, however. In 2012, Fairey pleaded guilty to destroying and fabricating the evidence and was sentenced to 2 years of probation, 300 hours of community service, the fine of $25,000. There are a variety of platforms for freelance designers such as Upwork, Dribbble, Fiverr, and Behance. The problem with these types of websites is that designers may be forced to lower their prices in order to compete for jobs, or the website may take a large percent of their earnings. The platform 99 Designs is an online marketplace for freelance graphic designers. The website became fairly popular for holding design competitions. The client provides their brief or information regarding what they want, and the designers bring in their own ideas. Eventually, the client will choose one of the designers based on which one best suits their brand, or simply which one they like best. The controversy revolves around designers working for free, as designers will submit their work for free in hopes of winning the competition. Only one designer will win, and the rest will not receive any sort of compensation. Many argue the system exploits designers by having them work for free. I think freelance platforms are great, but the competition side of it is only beneficial for the client, who will in return receive many options to choose from. You could argue the designer receives experience, though. I look at it as those job applications that require you to design something in order to possibly be given an interview. Many designers tend to close those types of applications as the company could just look at their portfolio instead. The debate is still ongoing and continues to get talked about, with some designers boycotting these types of platforms altogether. The Tokyo 2020 Olympics, that actually took place in 2021, were met with a new success as new events were introduced, including climbing, surfing, and skateboarding. Japan received their first Olympic gold medal in baseball, and both the men and women U.S. teams received gold medals in basketball. However, what happened outside of the games wasn't as wholesome, but it might have been just as entertaining if you're interested in the drama. Kenjiro Sano is a graphic designer from Tokyo who sparked controversy for allegedly plagiarizing his Olympic logo. Sano claimed the design was original, but withdrew the design anyway due to the public's lack of support. The logo in question featured a bold letter T with a red circle and appeared very similar to graphic designer Olivier Deby's emblem in the Theatre de Liège in Belgium. In response, Sano apologized to the multiple parties for his logo. I think it's also important to note Sano admitted to copying other work for a beer promotion, so plagiarism seemed to be a common theme within his work. Airbnb is a well-known global travel company. The online marketplace allows people to book places to stay, whether they are vacation homes, private or shared rooms, and hotel rooms. Airbnb has many of their own controversies and horror stories regarding bookings. There are many cases of hidden cameras being installed inside of these rentals, such as through outlets, smoke detectors, and speakers. This Airbnb controversy isn't as dark, supposedly, as some of their past. In 2014, Airbnb released their new logo called Bello. The company was under controversy as people claimed the logo heavily resembled another company's logo and that the logo resembled human genitalia. A German designer, Eric Spiekermann, claimed Airbnb's logo was very similar to the IT firm Automation Anywhere's logo. The two companies released a joint statement acknowledging the similarities, but that Airbnb will not change their logo design, although Automation Anywhere did change their logo. Design Studio, who designed Airbnb's new logo, claimed they were not aware of Automation Anywhere's logo and did not see the sexual connotations within their design, as Twitter users had pointed out. Much like Airbnb's logo design disaster, Gap, the clothing retailer, also had one of their own logo design disasters. In 2010, Gap decided to rebrand and rid of their current logo, a serif font with the word Gap, over a navy blue square. Their new logo featured a sans serif font with a small blue square slightly behind the P. You could tell they were going for something more modern, but honestly ended up lacking character. The redesign was met with criticism from basically everyone, and in less than 1 week, Gap returned to their original logo. Unfortunately, their mistake of a rebrand cost them millions of dollars in damage to their brand identity, which supposedly had costed $100 million. The company wanted their new logo to transition from its classic American design to something more modern and cool, but the response from critics was negative, and in response to that, many parody logo designs were created. In Gap's response for the negative feedback, they claim to have understood they did not go about the redesign in the right way, and that next time they will handle it in a different way. The final controversy revolves around a multi-billion-dollar company that specializes in electronic cigarettes. In 2015, Pax Labs, known for producing vaporizers, launched a marketing campaign called Vaporize to promote their new product, the Juul. The campaign included advertisements featuring young models in their 20s to 30s. The advertisements were also displayed on Times Square. The company reportedly raised around $47 million in venture funding to support their campaign. Each advertisement included a young model with a clear image of the device to the left over a colorful and abstract pattern. Some critics, including Dr. Robert Jackler, a professor at Stanford who studies tobacco advertisement, suggested Juul's marketing appealed to teenagers, despite Juul's claim that it is targeted for adults. While the company claims to target adults, their launch campaign says otherwise. Following the Vaporize campaign, there is a notable increase in vaping amongst teenagers. The design of the device resembles a USB flash drive, which is easy to conceal and be mistaken for other harmless items. During the time of the campaign, there have been allegations Juul purchased ad space on websites relating to children, such as Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, 17 Magazine, and several other educational websites. In 2020, the FDA banned the distribution of fruit and mint-flavored Juul pods, including mango, mint, and creme brulee. This did not apply for their menthol and tobacco-flavored products. It wasn't until 2022 the FDA decided to go forward with the ban of Juul, as the company could not provide enough evidence about the safety of their products. However, the ban was put on hold while Juul appealed, which is still pending to this day. As a result, Juul devices and pods are still available for purchase in some stores. In conclusion, the graphic design industry will always have its flaws. I mean, some people think the industry is dying because of AI, but it's only expected to grow. It might be beneficial for companies to consider their audience preferences more closely as to avoid potential backlash, or if designers wouldn't steal from each other, there wouldn't be such large controversies regarding plagiarism. Either way, it's still going to happen, and there's not much that can be done other than listening to what your audience wants, not stealing other people's photos, or copying their logos.